Empire's Jussie Smollett claimed that he was brutally attacked in Chicago by two masked men in late January 2019. The incident was investigated as a possible hate crime, but the story collapsed when it emerged that the actor might not have been telling the truth. Here's a look at what's come out about the high-profile incident. On February 1st, Jussie Smollett released a statement to ABC News thanking his fans and supporters for sticking by him in the aftermath of what he claimed was a vicious hate crime. Pushing back on claims that he might be fabricating his story, he assured fans that he'd been, quote, 100% factual and consistent on every level with law enforcement. His statement further read, "Despite my frustrations and deep concern with certain inaccuracies and misrepresentations that have been spread, I still believe that justice will be served." But some of the actor's neighbors have been singing a different tune, saying that Smollett's story of a violent hate crime in the vicinity of their residence just doesn't ring true. Ajim Muhammad, a neighbor who lives in the same high-rise as Smollett, went on record as having doubts about Smollett's story. He told the New York Post, "I don't believe it happened the way he said it did. I've been in this neighborhood 5 years. I don't believe it, not around here. Half the people are gay and the other half are black." On February 14, 2019, Good Morning America aired an exclusive interview between Jussie Smollett and host Robin Roberts, during which the actor tearfully defended his version of events, questioning the motivations of anyone skeptical of his story.
What do you feel people need to hear the most from this story?
I think that what people need to hear is just the truth.
Smollett suggested that race played a role in the way his story was received, saying, "It's not necessarily that you don't believe that this is the truth. You don't even want to see the truth." The actor denied reports that it said his attackers were wearing Donald Trump's signature red campaign hats. As he put it in the interview, "I don't need some MAGA hats as a cherry on top of some racist sundae." Despite walking back the red hat detail, Smollett said he believed he was targeted thanks to his criticisms of the 45th president, giving the alleged hate crime a distinctly political edge. While the interview did not press too hard against Smollett's story, it later emerged that GMA staffers had doubts about whether or not the actor was telling the truth. It was noted that Smollett reportedly initiated contact with the morning show to set up a post-attack interview, making a specific request to speak with Robin Roberts, who appeared on an episode of Empire in 2018. Roberts has since addressed the interview, reminding audiences that when she first sat down with Smollett, police officers were saying that his account was consistent, it was credible, and that he was being cooperative. But then the story took a dramatic turn. A day after the reported attack, Chicago police released a blurry surveillance photo of two men identified as persons of interest in their investigation. Shortly after Smollett's GMA interview aired, it was announced that the two people in the footage had been located and were being questioned by police.
Do you believe that they could possibly be the attackers?
I do.
The two men were identified as brothers Olabinjo and Abimbola Osundero, U.S. citizens of Nigerian descent. The two were detained at O'Hare Airport after returning from a trip to Nigeria. A search of their home on the north side of Chicago reportedly yielded a large collection of evidence related to the attack, including black face masks, red hats, bleach, receipts, and an Empire script. On the same day that Smollett's GMA interview aired, news broke from multiple sources that Smollett had not really been attacked, but had actually staged the violent assault himself. The development was not immediately confirmed by Chicago police, but after investigators spoke to the Osundero brothers, it became clear that the investigation was changing course. When the brothers were released without being charged, law enforcement officially announced that Smollett had become a suspect in their investigation. In light of the developments, Smollett's behavior came under increased scrutiny. According to TMZ, law enforcement sources claim Smollett initially agreed to sign complaints against the men who had been taken into custody. But when he found out the men in custody were the Osundero brothers, Smollett allegedly declined. On February 18th, Chicago CBS 2 reported that the Osundero brothers allegedly told police that they were paid by Jussie Smollett to stage the assault. The two men were supposedly paid $3,500, with an additional $500 promised once they returned from a trip to Nigeria. It was also reported that the three men had rehearsed the attack. Smollett's lawyers released a statement to CNN denying that the TV star had any role in the alleged attack. The statement read in part, "He has now been further victimized by claims attributed to these alleged perpetrators that Jussie played a role in his own attack. Nothing is further from the truth, and anyone claiming otherwise is lying." Reporting also revealed Smollett's relationship with the brothers, with one being described as his personal trainer, whom he hired to help him get in shape for a music video. Shortly after midnight on the night of the alleged attack, the Daily Mail reported that the actor had just returned to Chicago from New York City, where he'd auditioned for a revival of the play Take Me Out. The Tony Award-winning play follows the story of a biracial baseball player who comes out as a gay man and suffers an attack that some found eerily similar to the one Smollett described to police. During a delay on Smollett's return flight to Chicago, the Empire star began posting messages to his Instagram story. According to the Daily Mail, investigators allegedly believe that the social media post was shared to alert the Sondero brothers that he was back in Chicago and ready to meet. Investigators reportedly believe that Smollett staged a fake attack after first sending himself a piece of fabricated hate mail, care of Fox Studios. According to ABC News, the Sondero brothers have claimed that the actor wasn't satisfied with the reaction he got from the threatening letter and decided to stage a hate crime against himself instead. The widely publicized letter featured a crude drawing of a stick figure hanging from a tree with a gun pointing towards it, alongside a death threat, a homophobic slur, and the acronym MAGA. The slogan was allegedly shouted during Smollett's alleged assault. The FBI and the U.S. Postal Investigation Service are reportedly analyzing the letter, which was sent on January 22nd, to determine if the embattled actor may have played a part in its creation. On February 20th, the mounting suspicions against Smollett were taken to the next level when the Chicago Police Department tweeted that the actor was officially being classified as a suspect in his case. 2 hours later, Smollett was no longer merely a suspect. It was announced that felony criminal charges had been filed against the actor for disorderly conduct stemming from filing a false police report. It was a stunning reversal for the performer, who had just weeks prior been subjected to a nationwide outpouring of sympathy over the alleged attack. Now he was being sought by police on a felony charge. On February 21st, Smollett turned himself in to the authorities, officially being placed under arrest. It also emerged that this incident wasn't the first time Smollett had allegedly provided false information to police. According to the New York Post, Smollett once pleaded no contest to providing false information to police during a DUI traffic stop in Los Angeles. In the complaint for the misdemeanor, which occurred in 2007, authorities say that the Empire actor failed to give his own name when asked for it by an officer, instead offering up the name of his brother Jake. For lying to the police in that incident, Smollett eventually accepted a plea deal, being sentenced to an alcohol education and treatment program as well as 2 years of probation. On February 21st, Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson delivered a blistering press conference where he claimed Smollett, quote, took advantage of the pain and anger of racism to promote his career. While Smollett is entitled to a presumption of innocence, the police superintendent made it clear that the actions the actor was accused of were completely unacceptable, selfish, and insulting to many. During the conference, Johnson asked,
"Why would anyone, especially an African-American man, use the symbolism of a noose to make false accusations?"
Johnson proceeded to confirm much of the speculation surrounding Smollett's alleged orchestration of the attack. The police representative made reference to a wide array of damning evidence, such as the check Smollett allegedly wrote to the Sondero brothers and phone records between the three men both before and after the incident. Johnson also suggested that Smollett was indeed behind the racist, threatening letters sent to his workplace at Fox the week before the alleged attack occurred. As to why the actor would commit these drastic actions,
"This stunt was orchestrated by Smollett because he was dissatisfied with his salary."
Johnson told reporters, "When we discovered the actual motive, quite frankly, it pissed everybody off." After being released on $100,000 bail, Smollett returned to the Empire set, where he reportedly apologized to the cast and crew for the media circus that the allegations against him had generated. But according to sources inside the meeting, Smollett maintained his innocence and blamed both the media and the criminal justice system for his predicament. His refusal to accept responsibility for the alleged hoax reportedly left people in attendance feeling disappointed and distressed. Following Smollett's bail hearing, the actor's attorneys denounced the police superintendent's press conference in a statement saying, "Today we witnessed an organized law enforcement spectacle that has no place in the American legal system. The presumption of innocence, a bedrock in the search for justice, was trampled upon at the expense of Mr. Smollett." Smollett's lawyers argued that their client's presumption of innocence had been trampled on by the spectacle, an argument that Smollett himself reportedly made to Empire's cast and crew. According to TMZ, Smollett's apology didn't go over very well. His fellow castmates were reportedly furious that his conduct had brought negative attention to the series, even going so far as to allegedly demand that his character be written off the show. To a certain extent, the producers of the series apparently agreed. On February 22nd, the day after Smollett's arrest, executive producers of Empire announced that Smollett's character, Jamal Lyon, would no longer be appearing in the final episodes of the series' 5th season. A statement signed by creator Lee Daniels and 6 other producers read in part, "While these allegations are very disturbing, we are placing our trust in the legal system as the process plays out. We are also aware of the effects of this process on the cast and crew members who work on our show, and to avoid further disruption on set, we have decided to remove the role of Jamal from the final 2 episodes of the season." While Smollett has not been officially fired from the series as of the end of February, it remains to be seen if he'll ever be allowed to return. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.